Hello everyone, I'm John Russell and I'd like to welcome you to Craft Art Collectibles YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a copper rose or copper flowers, whatever you can come up with. I've come up with several different flowers using copper sheeting. They use it in roofing. Alright, let me show you my whole box here that I got to scrap now. Basically, I bought some it's 8 by 20. You can get it in a copper coil. Comes in sheets like this. I just cut circles out. I use templates. I'll show you what I got. But that's just scrap that I have. Alright, Kitty, you just took my spot here. Okay, well, if you want to watch, cat might be in the shot here, so we'll work with him. All right, so basically I got this copper sheeting, and I made templates. All right, so I watched some videos on how to make these on YouTube, and basically what I did was I had some old copper sheeting off a job. And I knew I'd use it for something. Wasn't sure what I was going to use it for, but I saved it. I seen this guy doing these. I pulled it out, made the templates. Basically, I made myself a bunch of templates. Okay, and I'll show you basically how they're start to finish how to do this. Oh, hi, Kitty. I guess we got somebody joining the... Oh, good golly. All right, buddy. Somebody needs some loving, huh? Oh, he's a good boy. Oh. Yeah, all right, so I got to fix my harness. My snap came off. Come here, buddy. All right, so this is our rambunctious one here. He's a good boy. Let's see if I can get him to sit down here. Sit. Sit right there. I'm gonna lay down. Okay, good boy. He just wants some. Has to do it, right? Right? Oh, he wants to play too. Oh, good golly. All right, so back to the video. All right, so I've made a bunch of these. I've made a bunch of flowers. I've made some sunflowers. I made this cactus flower for my wife. I don't know if you've ever seen a cactus flower, but it comes pretty close. These are all loose. Basically what I did was took a piece of the sheet copper, made some holes in it, and pulled these through. These are just pieces of copper. That's it. Copper sheeting. Tell you what, that's sharp. Somebody wants some love, man. Oh, he's a good boy. All right. Let's take this off. Good golly. Boy, I can't even film. All right. All right. All right. All right. Sit down. Somebody's just going to be part of the film today. All right. Lay down. Boy, oh boy. He's determined, isn't he? All right. So let's set that off to the side now. Now these are some of the copper roses that I made. I'll start off with some of the smaller ones, and I'll show you how these all work. Basically, you cut them out of the sheet metal, and you work them a little bit, and I'll show you how to do all of it. But since we have a little disturbance, a little extra commotion in the video here, I'm not sure how much you can see. Boy, oh boy. All right. So let me bring this out. And this is Pima, everybody. Pima. Pain in my... But if you look it up, you will actually find that it's a Native American tribe. So, This is one of the roses that I made. I actually made this, made the copper rose, but I bought this from Hobby Lobby, the globe. It's too short if you ask me. I mean, I can put a smaller rose in it, but I think what I'm going to do is add a longer stem to this, because this is actually a longer stem rose. And I have an idea on how to do it using 1/4-inch copper tubing, and I'll show you. So I basically make, now what this is stacked. These stacked on one on top of each other, and I will show you how it's done. And then soldered in. I solder them in, but you can probably use several different things, from JB Weld to liquid nail. Just anything could be used. I actually cut these into little pieces. I wrap them around there in order to slide my copper wire with the leaves inside. These, I actually did it different for this copper rose we're doing now, because I ran out of copper wire. I'm using 1/4-inch copper tubing, and you can see how I did it. I actually, the flowers are made all from one piece of sheet copper, and you'll see. I'll show you. So these leaves right here, these are all one piece. Basically what I do is I took a piece of paper, I drew a leaf out, and then I drew the little connection piece in between. And it's probably a 1/4-inch wide. How's that taste, buddy? Boy, oh boy. Then the end one here is just the same as these others, and it's got a little tab on the end of it that I curl over the wire and then solder it into place. Okay. I can't believe he's all up in this video like that. Alright, so again, I made this. I should just leave it in here like this because it looks taller. I gotta drill a hole a little bit deeper. But the intention was to have this on here, setting inside, just like so. Alright. Now I have another one to show you here. Pick it up. And this is the one that I kind of put together. I made the base for this myself, and the glass I actually bought at Hobby Lobby. I don't like it though, it's not dome. It's got a flat bottom. I consider it still domed, but I don't like the dome itself. Now you can see, if you're looking, if it's around eye level, it's not a big deal. I'd rather have a dome shape on the top, but if you're okay with having a flat top, this is a great piece. I have both these pieces listed on Etsy under the same name, Craft Art Collectibles. So yeah, there's another one, and I finished the base on that too. And slide that over. Now, this one's actually too tall for you to see it in its base. This right here is my dollars. I don't know if you can see the detail in there, but there is all kinds of detail. The leaves, look at those leaves. I'll show you how to make them leaves look pretty real. Okay, even got the little leaves underneath the bottom there. Alright, this is the actual base. Now I'm not sure what kind of wood it is, but somebody gave me the wood, and I cut it and put this thing together. And let's see if I can Give you an idea how tall this thing is. So it stands pretty tall. Alright, now getting to the wives. Now, like I said, I probably made a dozen of these roses by themselves to sell for Christmas or to give away as gifts. And that's basically what I did. Those two are left over from last year. So I'm not going to be making a whole lot more of these. At least not for a while. I figured I'd put this video out there, show you how I did it. And just so you guys know, all this stuff can be adjusted. You can move it around. Boy, oh boy, is he an attention getter or what? Huh. It's pretty heavy. It's got a lot of copper on it. This is actually a two-piece rose. Look at those leaves. Boy, oh boy, what a ham. All right, you can see how much work I put into those bottom leaves and stems. All right, so that's the wives. I do have a big piece of glass for that. Now I'm going to go over some of the stuff I've been using. So basically the wire that I use to put I don't trust him. He's one of those cats that knocks stuff off the counter. And he shouldn't even be up here, and he knows it. Alright, so this is basically just nothing but electrical wire. That's it. Okay. This stuff, copper flashing, and you can get it at Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, Ace, any of them. Check your prices though. I think Lowe's had the best price last time I checked, and that was a couple weeks ago. You can get a copper roll that's 8 inches wide by 20 feet long for under $30. It's a heavy gauge piece of copper. And I'll show you how you soften it up. That, or you can leave it stiff. You know, it's just harder to work. So this is nothing but an old piece of copper, 1/4 inch copper pipe. All right, that's what I'm using for my stem. This is the one we're going to be working on right here. I've already got most of my stuff, most of the work done, but I will be showing you how I do it. So basically I've taken a piece of this 1/4 inch copper pipe, cut it into a length that I want to use for a stem. You know, you can just cut it to any length, roll it out, and you can see it bends pretty easy. You know, cut it off to the length that you want. All right. Then you're going to take a pair of pliers, and I like to use some smaller pliers, craft pliers, and they were just sitting right here. Craft pliers. Well, we'll just use the little pink ones here that I have. All right. So, let me mount my glasses. Oh, and this is Christmas season. Merry Christmas. I'm going to go ahead and this has been just cut off straight. But what I do is I'll take this edge, and it's kind of hard to do this with regular pliers. I think I can. You just grab the edge of it, just a little bit, and you're just going to bend it out. If it starts breaking on you, cut a little bit more off. Just like so. Alright, now you can see that it's got a little flange on it. Just like this one does. Okay? So the pipe is ready to mount your pieces onto. Alright, set this upside. Now, basically what I do is I have cut several templates, okay, all different sizes, and you can make them. You don't even have to use these. You can use paper, you know, just start with a, you know, can lid or something, and just reduce your size by a 1/4 inch or so, 3/8 of an inch, and you can see I got enough to make some really big ones down to some small ones. Okay, so what I've done is basically cut these into circles. I just take, I'm going to show you something. This is a tool that I made. All it is a dart end without the tail on it. And I got it, I drilled a hole so it'd slide down into there. I only drilled a hole down to here, where that pencil line is, right? Then I drilled another hole just a little bit bigger than the head of the screw that goes in the end of it. Okay? I stopped that just short of the other line. Okay? Then I slid this, then I took another drill bit and drilled a hole through this section here for the screw to go through. Okay, so basically the head, the screw comes down through here and it mounts up into the back end of the dart right here. And you screw it down tight and that's what you get. Now I had one made and I was prepping this thing out yesterday and it broke on me. I had to break down and actually make this. Probably did it in kind of haste, but I'll make a better one. And I'll be using this also to make my arrowheads, my glass arrowheads. So you'll see this being used in several different ways. I'm actually going to take something like this, make another one like this, and then mount it into another stick. It's probably about, I don't know, probably about 18 inches long, and it's going to be sanded down flat. And you'll see when I start making arrowheads why I do it like that. And I'll just stick this inside the end of it. It won't be glued or nothing. It'll just be sitting inside there. That way I can take it back out, use it for this or just regular pressure flaking. Let me go get something here real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, I was filming this outside and there was just so many people out there. Alright, so this is a glass bottom bottle and I'll be taking another video on how to make arrowheads out of these. Another video that I watched on YouTube, several videos, I watched them on YouTube and ended up making my own stuff. Been making it for years. Alright, but basically I'll be using this. I use this to scroll around all the copper here. Let me show you, give you an idea here. Hold it down. And you can see it scratches into there and then you just come in there. And actually you can use sheet metal cutters or you can use scissors. Now, this heavier gauge stuff, I'm not sure if I can use these scissors here, so we'll check it out. Now, the guys that I watched make these copper roses, they were using copper pipe. They would take the copper pipe and they grind it down the center, cut it down the center, flatten it out. They would anneal it, which means you take your copper sheeting and you burn it till it's red hot, then you put it in water, and it makes it softer to use. Now, I am going to show you, give you an idea. All right, so, and it does take away that copper finish. It does take away the gold finish. But I'm going to show you how easy this bends. Almost like a piece of lead. Whereas this, it's so stiff. This can still be worked. I just haven't done it. I've always annealed them, used a torch. You'll see. I got two different kinds of torches. I got regular tank torches like this, okay, for doing regular plumbing work. And then I got this for doing pipe work, where you're in a corner of a bathroom or something silly and that tank is way too big. Now, depending on the pipe size, this isn't, for doing stuff like this is great. And it's refillable. Works great. I've had this for years. Okay. And like I said, you can actually use JB Weld and a few other things that I have tried. All right, so getting back to this. This could actually be, I'm going to be using this to make a, and I don't want to do it too many times because it leaves glass on the table here. But basically this will actually make fine adjustments on your arrowhead. And you'll see as I go making the arrowheads how that works. Just kind of nice how it works on both of them. Alright, so I've used my diagrams. Cut out all my pieces, and I've got a stack of 1, 2, 3 on the stem already. Alright, and I got this one, this, and this one already ready. Now, if I was thinking about it, I probably should have finished this one off, and the last one I had to do was the last one to go on, but that's how it goes. So, what I do is I pilot drill out, or I tap a hole in it with the tip here, tap a center hole in it. Then I got a drill bit right here that I stick in that hole, and then drill out the hole itself. So it slides down this right here. This is just a drywall hammer, but you can use any hammer you want. Flatten it out. Everything that you do when you're cutting on this, you'll make it bend, do all kinds of stuff. You'll have to straighten it back out in order to get it to slide down on this for when you start bending the pedals in. Okay, so I got this one done. Now, after I'm done annealing these, I just take a drill, and I knock off this extra stuff here. I don't want all this stuff to fall off. I mean, you can actually just use a piece of sandpaper. Now, when you're doing this, you don't necessarily have to get down inside here. Now, the last pedal that you got, you want to get as much as you can, or as, whatever you feel you need to. But on the inside, you're not going to see very much of that pedal. So you don't have to worry about necessarily the inside here, okay? I'm just going to knock some stuff off. I mean, you can do this with different colored copper sheeting. There's all kinds of stuff out there that you can use. Don't even have to be copper. Alright, now that I've got it cleaned off, I am going to cut it. Cut the leaves out. Cut these petals out. Because basically that's all this is a circle. This one was a circle. And what I did was, I have templates, and I use this little star right here as a template, and what I'll do is I'll make marks. I'll just make marks like this on it. Right, let me line it back up, because I already got marks on here. Alright. Now, depending on, you can change the amount of petals that you put on. Watch the videos on YouTube, other videos. I'm not going to, if I went into detail on every single petal, it would take all day long. This video would be forever. So I tried to knock everything out the best I can to prepare for this. That way we only got one petal and a little bit of soldering to do before you see a finished product. So, what I got here is the lines on here, right? We're going to start by cutting the leaves out, all right? I'm going to try these, see how good they are. Now, basically what I'm going to do is I got a couple lines. You don't have to be exact with this. I'm going to come back about a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, and kind of curve my cut right down into that line and bring the line all the way up. And it does cut, okay? Now let me tell you something. Them things right there, they're sharp. Watch out for them. All right? But don't do nothing with them until after you're done cutting. Or I guess you could. That's actually going to get snipped off. So let's go ahead and keep anybody from getting bit. Alright, then I'm going to go on to my next cut. I'm not going to turn around and try to cut that one. I'll flip the whole thing and then do the same process. It's easier for me to cut with cut this way. Now bring it down pretty close to the circle. Okay, as you can see, it's starting to look like a fan blade. Okay, let's go back to these scissors. again, about 3/4 of an inch back. And on down about 3/8 of an inch from the hole. So go ahead and cut the back corner off of this. Oh no! Cut the next one. Bring it on down. And cut the last one for this side. Alright. And what I'm going to do, at this point, I'll go ahead and clip this last one off here. I'm going to have to look on the floor and make sure I get them all picked up. I'm going to hammer it out. Alright. Then from here, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to cut this corner. Okay, again, start about 3/4 of an inch back. And really, all you're cutting off is the little corner at this point, because you've already cut down to the center. Let me tell you something. These things are great gifts. Great gifts. I'm not sure who's getting this one. Alright. So basically we got this form right here. Alright. But what we're going to do is we're going to give it some lines in there to give it some realisticness, I guess. So what I am going to do, I'm looking for my board here. I don't want to do it directly on here. Be right back. All right. So, set this stuff off the side. Remind myself to pick up the extras off the floor, or somebody's going to be mad. Alright, at this point, I'm going to make these lines in the flower, or in each petal. Okay, now the way I do it is by using my drywall hammer. It's an old broken drywall hammer, but it works great for this. But basically what you're going to do, you don't have to do it very hard. You're going to take it, beat it around the edge just like so. And again, you'll see how it's curling up. Alright, on to the next one. One more. Now, can you imagine me doing all these? It takes a little bit of time. One thing I did used to do is take them, put them on concrete, and actually rub them down like this. And it gave it just another little dimension, added dimension to it. But I figured out once you did this, it pretty much did it already on its own. Alright, let's move this off the side. I'm going to flatten it out. And now we got our stack going on here. Alright, so what I am going to do is slide these down the end. Now I can sit here and look at these and see which way they're going to bend. Which way you want to pick the side that you were hammering onto to go up. Oops, wrong one. So basically that's all I'm doing. Feed them on there. Alright. Then I have this. And this is a little flower section that goes on. Feed that on too. Now, I have actually left the little curls on there from when I trimmed it. It gives it a natural look. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is at this point, it's ready for solder. Alright. I'm going to bring it back up. I got some flux right here, flux and some solder to load it up with and get everything out of the way here. Alright. And you can see how I've stacked these. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to come up here. I'm going to line these out. You want to put the leaves in between the other leaves. Don't put one leaf on top of the other. I'm going to shift them all to a point where they're not lining up, just like so. Now the thing on the bottom, these are actually, I'm going to line these up right at the bottoms of those leaves. Alright, so at this point right here, we are ready get my flux out. Handy dandy toothpick. This has already been sanded down around that whole edge. I'm going to try to pack this down around the edge. Alright, then I'm going to put some around the flange right there without trying not to move anything. I guarantee I will. You try to force it up underneath all the way around the edge. Push that back just a hair, but it's It's laying in there really good. Alright, we got it. Make sure my leaves are lined back up. They're not. Okay, I'm just going to have to get a little bit of flux on my hand. Alright, line all these back up. Alright, note to self, put the flux on first. Okay, so again, we're all lined up. We got flux. Alright, now what I'm going to do, put some solder on this thing here. My thumb feels like it's broke. Alright, so I'm going to get this really hot here. Alright. Alright. I'm going to get just a little bit more on this other side here. Sometimes the flux don't work as good as you think it's going to. I'm trying to build up a bead all the way around the base of it here. I think I've got it. Alright, so I was building up the bead around the base so nothing slides back down. And I don't have a problem with actually bending some of my stuff in. But what I will do here, clean up some of this excess here. Woo! So, you see how that works? Alright. So, let me go cool it off. Now what's happened is, I've soldered the back end in. Now it looks like I need to put a little on the front here because it doesn't look like it came through. Not the way I want it to. So I'm going to heat that up, drop some solder in there. Alright, that's it. cool it off. All right. All right, we're good to go. "45 minutes. All right, now here's the deal. I can only put so much on a video right now. So I'm going to have to take another video of me actually sculpting this into a flower, to include adding my leaves on. And I'll go ahead and show you my leaves and how I did them. All right, these are the leaves I have right now. Originally, this was added on. This was on there, just like so. Now what I did was I cut it off one big huge piece. I took my pliers, bent this together all the way down, bent this together, then started sculpting my leaves. So on the next video, I'm going to show you how I did these leaves, and we're going to solder this into the stem and make some thorns. I'll show you how to finish it up. So again, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It means a lot to me. Thank you very much. You guys have a good afternoon.